What we're going to do now is take a look at how the mainstream American media has covered Prime Minister Narendra Modi's state visit to Washington, D.C. So we've got the New York Times, the Financial Times, the Washington Post, the Wall Street Journal with me. So let's take it one by one and show you what the different papers are saying. I'll start with the New York Times, typically seen as a trenchant critic of the Prime Minister. So if my video journalist Kirpal Singh just comes across and will show you, so it's raining quite non-stop here in DC, but this is the front page of the New York Times. They're leading with this image from the US Congress joint address, which the Prime Minister had. Kamala Harris there, all the senators and the congressmen there. Their take is, for Modi's visit, abundant pomp and no friction. Biden hopes to make India an ally. Military deals, joint projects, but India is no closer on Ukraine, and that's the take from the New York Times. Let's now come across to the pink paper, the Financial Times. Pink paper, the Financial Times has this image of President Biden and Narendra Modi on its cover. This talks about stronger ties. Modi and Biden commit to a defining relationship between the two democracies. This again on the front page of the Financial Times, and they're talking about how Prime Minister Modi spoke of making this one of the defining relationship of the 21st century, saying that the India-America partnership is built on mutual trust, candor and respect. Let's now come to the Washington Post. The Washington Post features the visit prominently on its style section. This is the image, in fact this is where we were last evening at the White House, where you've got this welcome now. So you've got people from the military of the United States, you've got Jill Biden, the Prime Minister, all the pomp but light on the glee. Fet for India's Modi, a key US ally, features business as the main course. And then it talks about the dinner. Despite dearth of celebrity wattage, event becomes an unlikely celebration of fashion, and goes on to talk about what all happened at the state dinner, which featured really some of the biggest names in Indian and American business and members of the Indian American community. I come now to the Wall Street Journal. The Wall Street Journal has it on the bottom fold. Warm welcome for Modi. This image is from the White House earlier in the day, where the Prime Minister met with the American President. And this, let's go to page 8, which is where the full story is. Just give me a minute. Okay, so here it is. This talks about the toast from the state dinner in the evening. Biden, Modi hailed strong ties during the state visit, and it talks about the relationship, and you know, by and large, most sections of the American press have taken note of this visit, brought out the significance of the India-America relationship and its changing contours as well. This is from the Washington Post. Biden defends India's democracy as Modi visits. Again, the Washington Post has been raising several questions around the way the Modi government has been running India. So this one talks about Biden defending India's democracy, referring to the question that was posed in the press conference. And one of the reasons that I believe the US-China relationship is not in a space as it is with the US-India relationship is that there's an overwhelming respect for each other, and also because we're both democracies, and it's a common character of our democracy. And that's and it talks about how Biden spoke about the state of India's democracy and announcing agreements on technology defense. There's a full page coverage here in the Washington Post on Prime Minister Modi's visits. They've given this space to all the agreements, and then at the top they highlight the Prime Minister's address to the US Congress, where Modi focused on growth. So always a good idea to look at what's being featured, what's not being featured, what's in, what's out in the headlines of the press in the country where the Prime Minister is visiting.